or both? Kind of weird. I mean, let's just look at this one, right? All right, guys. Hey, it's WRAPDX here, and we've decided to start a new... Hey guys, it's WRAPDX here, and today we've decided to do a product review on some stuff we use at the shop, and then this is going to be an ongoing thing. So we're just going to do a review of products we use here at the shop and what we think is best at the time for us, but it's always going to be updating and improving, and then we'll work on making a list for you guys. We'll put it down in the description of all the tools that we use and where you could buy them, because I believe, in my opinion, they're the best to use as of right now. They can always change, but you know, let's get started. Yeah. So first product we're going to highlight today is the Pressol Dual Action Pump Sprayer. So I'll get a close up of that. So the way I've heard about this sprayer, okay, so I bought 2 sprayers to test them out, but I will be buying more since I've tested them out. I tested them out for about a week now, and I made sure to fill one of them with just pure alcohol, because pure rubbing alcohol, because it's pretty erosive to any seals or stuff like that. And then one, I've just been using it with soap and water to see how the feel is of these. And the first thing I'll say about these sprayers is I love the feel and the weight of them when they're full of product. So these sprayers come in 3 different sizes. They have actually, let me backtrack where I bought the sprayers. So where I bought these sprayers was from somebody called Obsessed Garage, Matt over at Obsessed Garage. He basically he's awesome, and he's finding all these cool products all over the world and bringing them to the US. So these bottles, you cannot buy them. You can only buy them through Matt. So we'll put a link down in the bio to his website where you can find these, and then he has a bunch of other cool stuff. I'd recommend almost anything on that website, to be honest. He puts in all the time and all the work to find this stuff for him, and most importantly, he puts in a lot of money into this stuff. So yeah, go check it out. But back to the review. So basically, the first thing that I like about this sprayer is that the weight in your hand, the feel of it with it full of product is very nice. And then also, the trigger is very robust. It has a nice weight to it. So when you spray it, it has a really nice spring back. So a lot of sprayers, they don't have that nice spray back, especially with the dual action. It has a nice bounce back. So when you spray it, it'll just bounce right back. Super nice feel to it. And then the spread of it is very nice. You can adjust it obviously with the twist of the nozzle, so you could make it a little more streamlined if you want. Like that, like a little shot at the camera. Or you can make it, you know, you can obviously twist it and adjust it, make it like that. And the one thing I would say is that, actually we'll get to that and the pros and cons. So like I mentioned before, they come in 3 different sizes. They have a 500 milliliter, 750 milliliter, and then 1,000 milliliter. And what I'll say about that is I really like the variability in the sizes that they offer, because sometimes you have some products that you don't need too much of, and sometimes you want some products that you need more of, and so you need a bigger bottle. Also, for me personally, I don't really care about the size. I just care about the weight of it, so it's more comfortable in my hand. And we'll get to the ergonomics of the whole thing too in a second. But so the price, I'll have them written down right here. So the price of the 500 milliliter is $15.95. The price of the 750, which we're reviewing here today, both of these are $750, is $16.95, and then the pricing of the 1,000 milliliter, which is just a liter, is $17.95. And I will say that that's pretty expensive for a spray bottle. When you can get, so there's these IK sprayers right here. This is a pretty popular option. We've been using these at the shop. Maybe if you can get a, so this is the IK acidic-based solvent sprayer, and it's the I think version 1 or something like that. And it's pretty nice. You know, this is the 1,000 milliliter, but it's just too heavy in the hand for me, and it's not dual action. So it does give a very nice spray, but it doesn't, you know, it's not the same as this. This is awesome. You know, this is great. The one thing I will say that is better about this sprayer is that when you're spraying it, it has a very nice spread and it doesn't like squirt some product off. Whereas this one, when you spray it, there's a little bit of that initial, there's like a drop or two that falls out. And so the IK sprayer comes in at $13, which is 1,000 milliliter. So that's about almost exactly $5 cheaper than a Pressol sprayer in the 1,000 milliliter. But the thing is that, to my knowledge, I don't know if IK offers a smaller bottle than 1,000 milliliters. And I always find myself not filling it up to the very top because this is just, like right now it's all the way full, and this is too heavy because the way they have this designed right here is the back. So that's another gripe I have with the Pressol, is the lip on this is great when you're holding it, but this part is way too skinny in my opinion over here at the end, where it's kind of digging into this part in the middle of your pointer finger and your thumb. So when you're holding it, it just likes to dig into in this area right here, and it's kind of uncomfortable when it's all the way full. To whereas the problem with this one is it's not big enough of a lip to support that area, but then again, it's not thin and it's not cutting into anything. And also the size, this 750 milliliter, when it's full of product, it's not as heavy as the IK sprayer, so it's pretty manageable in my opinion. So let's get that out the way. Another thing about these Pressol sprayers is that they're very nice and robust. So the bottle, like this one's empty, I got it empty for you guys. So the bottle on this one is very nice. You can squeeze it, super nice, you know. It's not gonna have any give to it. To where something like this, just a basic sprayer you find at Home Depot or something like that, the bottle's just super mushy. You can bend it and, you know, it just doesn't feel high quality. And then these things, they have from the looks of it, the diameter of the base is probably 1.3 times larger on the Pressol sprayer as opposed to one of these sprayers. So they're very flat and stable because they also taper off on the top. So there's most of the weight of the product is down below. So it gives it a nice lower center of gravity, to whereas this one can get knocked around easier. So another thing I wanted to touch upon was the inside, the mechanics. So one thing about this that I like is, so let me open up both of them because it's one point I want to touch on. So I bought two sprayers, right? And like I said, Matt was saying that I know there's a couple versions of these, so maybe a couple versions got mixed up, and not everything's perfect so far. This is very early on, but basically we have so let me get this off right here. So there's the filter part, right? It's very nice. It has a metal weight in it, so when it's in the bottle, it's sagging down. You see how it's kind of pulling that down? When I flip it over, it's pulling it down that way. So when it's in the bottle, when you're moving it around, and that's another nice thing. When you screw it on, you can twist this, and it doesn't affect the thread. So that way you can get it centered to over here if you like it like this, or maybe for some reason you like it backwards. I don't know, just give you guys some options. But when you're spraying it, because of that metal head, it puts all the weight and it puts the tube to the bottom, so you can spray it at different angles. I think the angle is up to you can spray up to 50 degrees in each direction of tilt. So that way you can get in different areas, different crevices without you running out of, without the lack of product coming through the pump. So let me just open this back up again. So basically there's a filter in here with a metal ball, a metal cylinder, and you can just take this off, right? It looks nice. And then there's a cap right here that's mesh, so it filters out stuff. And you can take this off. Let me take that off here. And then there's a metal ball inside. So there's just a metal ball inside, and then this piece. So this is a very nice system in my opinion, and the metal ball is just straight machined metal. And then over here, for example, so we have this system. Same bottle, I ordered them in the same order. So this one here is the whole housing is metal, to whereas the housing on this one is plastic. So I can take this off and it's fully machined metal. It's awesome. And then on the inside of this, there's a little hole. I don't know if you can get that. You get that? Okay, cool. So in there's the filter. It's recessed in there. So maybe I can get this out somehow and get a little pick or something. This one. Cool. Okay, cool. So I'll get a little pick and try and pick this out. For you guys. Just having a hard time coming out. Maybe if I stick a piece in the other end, actually, get a little crazy with it. Oh, it's not coming out. All right, let's see here. How do you think we can get this out? Keep picking at it. Didn't work. Okay. Well, we'll just leave that in there. So yeah, there's a little plastic filter in here. So I would say both of these filters are good. I'm just kind of confused about why they're different, but I think it just has to do with there being multiple versions of it, and they all look the same, to be honest. So I'm not really complaining about it. I'm just curious as to why they're different. So I'll probably just send an email and ask, because I have not yet. So just put these back together real quick, and it's super easy assembly. One thing to mention is that Matt at Obsessed Garage, he sells this separately, and he sells the tips separately, so you can get replacements to all this stuff. And on top of that, he sells, so you can just buy, so when you buy the bottle, he sells caps to them that have the same rubber seals that are on the actual pump spray head, the dual action pump spray head. So you can just buy, does he sell the bottles separately? Okay, cool. So you can basically buy everything here that's laid out on the table separately. So you can buy a bunch of these bottles separately. And let's say you want to fill up some bottles with I don't know, you want to fill up multiple bottles with the same product, you can buy a bunch of these bottles, fill them up, put a flat cap with a rubber seal on them, and then just put them in there. And then when one bottle runs out, you just take your sprayer and be like, hey, you know, I ran out, and just pop a new one on. And it's super easy to screw in, and it's super nice. And then you could just adjust it to line it up, and then you're off to spraying again. Now this one's partially full. So as you can see, it's super nice. Every time you pull, nice weight to the trigger. Let me put this one back together really quick. And as you see, it's super easy to put back together and diagnose what's wrong with it. Yeah, so there you go. It looks good. Another thing is, I kind of just want to open this up real quick and see how it works. So let's see if they're different. So yeah, they're the same. It just looks like there's two heads. I mean, there's two holes on there, and then when you spray it, they just come out. The product comes out of both the holes. Very nice. Very nice. And then, yes, so the only gripe I have about these bottles is probably, if you could find one negative for them, is probably the price and the way that this back part is on your hand here when it's full of product. But other than that, I would say that the ergonomics are great. The trigger feels great. The shape of the bottle, I actually like the shape of the bottle. I think it looks cooler. I don't know, but they do sell just regular bottles, so you can do that if you want. It's no big deal. And they also sell them to where they're transparent. And then also another con is that there's just no measurements on this thing. And with the solid bottle, that doesn't matter because you can't see it. So you're just going to have to measure everything before you put it into the bottle. So yeah, that's the Pressol Sprayer. And just to sum it up, pros, dual action trigger, super nice, robust bottle, and you can replace all the parts on this thing, super customizable. And then the cons would just be the price and this lip on the back. That's all. And you can go get these at Obsessed Garage. We'll link it down in the description. Thanks, Matt, for putting in all the work for these. And other than that, I'll see you guys later. Cool. We're done.